These carnivorous plants live on insects, which they trap and devour. They also eat hamburger. Watch this. These amazing plants are the subject of a book by Lynn and Gray Poole. What are your names, please?
My name is Lynn Poole, and this is my husband, Gray Poole.
My name is Lynn Poole, and this is my brother, Gray Poole.
My name is Gray Poole, and this is my husband, Lynn Poole.
Of these three sets of people, only one set is the real Lynn and Gray Poole. The other two sets are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Peggy Cass, Gene Rayburn, and Kitty Carlisle on To Tell the Truth. And here sitting in for Bud Collyer as our host for tonight, one of the stars of Broadway's Never Too Late, Orson Bean.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. To Tell the Truth is brought to you by Anacin, the headache remedy with a special combination of ingredients to relieve pain, to relax tension, to soothe irritability. Anacin. Well, I guess everyone would like to know that our dear buddy Bud Collyer is getting along just fine. Be back with us real soon. Last week, Gene, you substituted for Bud, and I hope I do as good a job tonight.
I'm sure you will, Orson. You've started out great by knocking over the chair, as you say.
Next week, Tom Poston, my old pal, will be here in the hot seat.
Well, I don't know whether I'm looking forward to it or not. I already had a feeling that I want to stump the panel.
Please open up your envelopes and follow along as I read. We, Lynn and Gray Poole, write books for young people. Our latest deals with insect-eating plants. These amazing plants lure their victims by either scent or color. Once within striking distance, the insects are caught by various ingenious methods. Sundews glue their prey on sticky tentacles. The cobra plant drowns insects in a pool of water. One type of fungus catches worms with a living lasso. Wow. The Venus flytrap snaps its leaves shut about the victim. We believe that this proves that the plant is quicker than the fly. Signed, Lynn and Gray Poole. These six people all claim to be Lynn and Gray Poole, authors of a book entitled Insect-Eating Plants. Let's start the questions with Peggy Cass.
Thank you. Lynn Poole, number one. May I ask you, do these grow in the United States?
Yes, they do.
Oh. Lynn Poole, number three. Do any of them grow around New York?
Yes, they do.
Number two, Lynn Poole, Gray Poole, number two. Like, could you get them in Larchmont?
Yes. They grow in Larchmont.
They do.
Certain varieties of them.
Thank you. Gray Poole, number three. Is that the way they feed themselves? I mean, don't they get anything from the earth?
No.
No what? They don't get anything?
No nourishment from the earth.
Oh, yeah.
Gene Rayburn, number one.
Gray Poole, you, Lynn Poole, Gray Poole, you, Gray Poole, you, number two. What does stamen mean in horticultural terms?
Stamen is the...
Thank you, number two.
That's not a foreign language, is it, that word?
No.
All right.
No, it's a perfectly good American word. Lynn Poole, number three. Do you know what, in the world of botany, pistil refers to?
A pistil in the world of botany is the top of the flower that's used in the pollination by birds and bees and
Thank you. Number...
Kitty Carlisle.
Number two, the left one. Are you Gray or Lynn?
No, I'm Lynn Poole.
Lynn, if these plants don't get any insects or hamburger, would they starve to death?
Well, they would if this went on long enough. But nature wouldn't let this happen.
Thank you. Gray Poole number 1. How can you spell pistol for me as in botany?
I believe it's P-I-S-T-O-L.
Thank you. Number 3, Gray Poole, the gentleman. Yes? Number 3?
I'm Lynn Poole.
You're Lynn. Lynn, thank you so much. Lynn, would you tell me where I could find a plant like this in Larchmont?
I don't know Larchmont well enough, but certainly around the shore somewhere or a boggy area.
Tom Poston.
Boggy. So,
Thank you. The left pool in the center, number 2, is Lynn Gray.
Lynn Poole.
Lynn Poole. Lynn, are there plants that live on air alone?
Yes, there are plants. In botany, you mean. There are plants which live on air alone.
Number 2, his brother, Gray. What are those plants called? Do you know?
Yes, parasites.
Thank you. Gray, number 3, very interesting. I know that's the lady. Some of these plants are not parasitic. Do you know the name of those plants?
Anthracite.
What rather exotic flower comes from that group? Do you know, number 3, Gray?
Orchids.
Orchids, thank you.
All right. It's time to vote. Without consultation, mark your ballots and select number 1, number 2, or number 3. The team of challengers will get $250 for each incorrect vote. All marked, my good people? Everybody? Tom Poston.
Well, I voted for number 3. I wasn't too pleased with his answer about what a pistol is, but it had, the pollination was right anyway. And they looked like the kind of people who would enjoy writing books for children. I liked them.
Peggy Cass.
Well, I voted for number 3, too, because I don't think anybody, 2 fellas wouldn't write for children, and that she's a lady, and they understand children, so that's why I voted for 3.
Gene Rayburn.
I went for number 3 also, Orson, and mainly because it seemed like number 3 gave me a pretty good refresher course in botany, which I took a long time ago.
And Kitty Carlisle.
I voted for number 3.
My goodness.
Well, number 1, Mr. Gray Poole said that pistol is spelled P-I-S-T-O-L, and I think it's P-I-S-T-I-L in botany. And number 2 couldn't answer your question very quickly about stamen, I think it was. So I voted for number 3, Poole.
I'll answer now.
Too late to answer now. The votes are all in and the minds are made up. Now let's find out which 2 of these 6 people are the authors of insect-eating plants. Will the real Lynn and Gray Poole please stand up? I guess you people, you really know your bugs. Team number 1, what are your real names and what do you really do?
My name is Marcia Bragg, and I'm a housewife from Tenafly, New Jersey.
And my name is Peter Wilhelm. I'm a lumber salesman. I'm not married to this young lady, but she's my sister-in-law.
And team number 2, what are your real names, gentlemen? What do you really do?
Well, my name is Dan Saratello, and I'm films manager for the British Travel Association.
And my name is Vernon Bain, president of Skytrack, and at the moment, the only employee of Skytrack. And I haven't seen this man before in my life until this morning.
Well, I'm sorry to say that the panel was too smart for you, but you do get $150 from Anison, and there is a gift box of fine products from the makers of Anison for each of you on the way out. Thanks, and good luck. And now, let's have our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jim Clark.
My name is Jim Clark.
My name is Jim Clark.
Panel, please listen as I read. I, Jim Clark, am a sheep farmer. I'm better known, however, as an automobile racing driver. In this year's first 8 Grand Prix races, I placed first in 5, second in 1, and third in another. With 2 races still to be run, I have already clinched the championship. I am the youngest man in history to become a Grand Prix world champion driver. Signed, Jim Clark. Well, panel, these 3 gentlemen all claim to be Jim Clark, 1963 Grand Prix champion. Let's start the cross-examination with Kitty Carlisle.
Thank you, Orson. Number 2, where do you sheep farm?
Berwickshire,
Where's that?
Scotland.
Ah, thank you. Number 3, can you tell me the name of the famous French race that goes on for quite a long time?
Le Mans.
Number 1, do you know about a race called Monza?
I do.
Where is it run?
In Italy.
Thank you. Number 3, what is the Targa... number 2, what is the Targa Florio?
Italian race, Sicily.
Thank you. Number 3, where do you sheep farm?
In Berwickshire.
Also?
Yeah.
How many sheep do you have?
About 2,000.
Oh, how marvelous. Number 1...
That's a lot of sheep. Tom Poston.
Number 3, I love you. You're jolly and cheerful, and that's nice. Number 3, what is a Kia bird, and how does it relate to sheep herding and so forth?
Sorry, I didn't get...
K-E-A, Kia bird, Kia bird.
I don't know.
Do you know number 1?
No, I don't.
Number 2?
New to me.
New to you. It's an Australian bird. Now do you know how it relates to sheep, number 3?
No.
No? Okay. Number 1, who is Foyt?
A.J. Foyt, driver.
What happened to him yesterday or today? You know?
I don't know.
Number 2? You know?
I believe he was suspended.
Thank you.
And we go to Peggy Cass.
Number 2, will you please finish this line for me? Scots were hay.
Scots were hay.
You don't know the end of it? Number 3, do you?
Yes.
Would you say it to me, please?
Scots were hay where Wallace bled.
Number 1, could you please tell me what that thing is that they throw at the Braemar Games?
The caber.
Oh, I thought that was it. Number 2, where's the Firth of Forth?
Northern Scotland.
Thank you. Number 3, what's a sparring?
What he's wearing? He's wearing it with his kilt.
Yes, thank you. Number 1, where's the Mille Miglia run? Mille Miglia.
The Mille Miglia, is it also run in Italy?
Thank you. Number 2, who?
Stole my heart away.
And we go to Gene Rayburn.
Well, whichever one is the real one, having won all these races, is hot as a pistol. That's P-I-S-T-O-L, pistol. Number 2, do you ever have to dip your sheep?
Aye.
You do?
Aye.
Why?
To get rid of vermin.
To get rid of vermin. Number 1, if I give you this sequence of numbers, it has some significance to you if you're a race driver. 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. What does that mean?
It could be grid positions for a start.
Thank you.
Well, it's time to vote. No consultations as you vote. Please mark your ballots and select number 1, number 2, or number 3. Have you selected your choices?
No.
Everybody? Gene?
Yes, I'm
Kitty?
ready.
Everybody.
I'm wrong, but ready.
All right, Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for 3. I voted for number 3.
Looks like you've been in a sheep dip there, old buddy.
No, but I had a 5th at the Firth of Forth.
Peggy Cass.
Well, I voted for 3, too, because I'm part Scotch, and any Scotchman knows that Scots were hay where Wallace bled, so that's why I voted for him.
Oh, boy.
He knew it.
That's number 1.
Oh, but he just knew it, and I just knew it was he. I
Gene
think.
Rayburn.
Well, I'm breaking the pattern this time. I voted for number 2. Number 1, excuse me, couldn't give me the firing order of a 6-cylinder internal combustion engine.
Oh, no.
And,
Oh, the pain.
and number 2 gave me a very convincing... He looks to me and sounded as if he were a sheep raiser. Of course, you people could have brought a sheep raiser in here who had never driven a car in his life, but we'll see.
And Kitty Carlisle.
Well, as you can see, I voted for number 1 because I don't know the firing engine of a 6-cylinder, whatever it is. And anyway, he looks reckless, daredevil, tough, even a little... No. He looks like a racing driver to me.
Well, the votes are all in, and the minds, such as they are made up. Now, let us see which of these 3 gentlemen is the real 1963 Grand Prix champion. Will the real Jim Clark please stand up? Congratulations, Mr. Clark, and good luck with the next 2 races, even though you don't need them.
Thank you.
Number 1, what is your real name? What do you really do? And are you cold in those kilts?
My real name is Paul Glazer. I've never been to Scotland, and I'm employed by the New Zealand Mission to the United Nations, and I'm not cold in the kilts.
Well, you got 1 vote. Number 2, you got 1 vote as well. What is your real name? What do you really do?
My name is Leonard Simmons, and I am employed by the Canadian Consulate in New York City.
What happened to the Scotch accent?
It was a good fake Scotch accent there. Well, there have been 2 incorrect votes, which means a grand total of $500 from Anison. And as well, there is a gift box of the products of this fine company for each of you on the way out. Thanks, and good luck. Our 3rd team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jose Arnold.
My name is Jose Arnold.
My name is Jose Arnold.
Please listen while I read. I, Jose Arnold. All right, open your envelopes, and then please listen while I read. All right, I'll wait for you.
Thank you.
I, Jose Arnold, for 5 years was chief steward for King Saud of Arabia. I was responsible for an annual budget of $5 million, operating the kitchens in Saud's 10 elaborate palaces. I also accompanied the king on his travels, both at home and abroad. When he went to visit his desert tribes, I had to pack into the caravan enough cooking supplies to feed 300 people for 30 days. I once supervised a banquet during which we served a boiled breast of camel, which took 10 men to lift. It appeared on a mountain of rice garnished with 5 whole sheep. Signed, Jose Arnold. All right, these 3 gentlemen all claim to be Jose Arnold, chief steward formerly to King Saud. We'll start with that well-known gourmet and breast of camel fancier, Gene Rayburn.
Thank you, Orson. Number 2. You say you have an operating budget of $5 million? I guess you housewives of America are a little envious of this kind of budget. Would you say there are some big eaters in Arabia? Number 2, do people really have big appetites in the royal?
Yes.
They do. Does King Saud have a harem?
Yes.
Number 3, how many wives does he have?
He has 3 legal wives and 60 concubines.
Mm-hmm. 60, then.
60 gilded.
60. Well, isn't it not so great? Think of all those stockings hanging out to dry in the bathroom. We'll go now to Kitty Carlisle.
Thank you. Number 3, where is the Kingdom of Swat?
I don't know.
Number 2, where is Kuwait?
In the northeast from Saudi Arabia.
Number 1, what is the part of the sheep that is always served to the honored guest?
The heart, of course.
The heart. Number 2, when you travel, when you transport all of this food, how do you take it?
We had air-conditioned buses.
In buses?
In buses.
Number 3, do you have refrigeration in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, we have.
Thank you.
And we go to Tom Poston.
Thank you. Number 2, what are the Drews? Drews?
I don't know.
Number 1, Druze, do you know D-R-U-S-E-S, Druzes?
No, I don't know.
Number 3, do you know?
It's a tribe in the northern part of Lebanon, between Lebanon and Jordan.
Thank you. Number 3, do you know where Kuwait is?
Yes, from the Persian Gulf.
Thank you. Number 1, what is saffron used for? Saffron.
It's a spice, a thyme that they use in their coffee.
And we go to Peggy Cass.
Number 2, do you ever serve the eye of the sheep?
Come on, Peg.
No, you don't.
We had the head next to the body.
Thank you. Number 3, did you feed the 3 legal wives and the 60 illegal wives as well?
Yes.
Yes. And,
Did he feed them as well? Feed
No,
the illegal ones as well?
My dear number 1, King Saud was in the hospital lately, I believe. And where was the hospital?
It was in Switzerland.
Number 3, do you agree with that?
It's time to vote. Please mark your ballots for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Everybody all marked? Good. Well, Tom Poon, did you vote?
I thought he looked like the kind of a guy that could really smack his lips while tasting, $5 million worth of potpourri or something.
Peggy Cass.
Well, I voted for number 3 because I thought that the part that they really think is the best is the eye of the sheep. And one of them didn't know that. And then he knew about those tribesmen, and I figured if Tom knew and he knew that was right.
Gene Rayburn.
I voted for number 3 because he looks like he spent a lot of time sweating over a hot stove.
And Kitty Carlisle.
I voted for number 3 because although he didn't know where the kingdom of Swat is, and it's in that general vicinity, nevertheless, it is true that it's the eye that is the most important part for the honored guest. And the Druzes are just where you said they were.
Is that from casting sheep's eyes when you say casting sheep's eyes at me?
No, that's
that
a whole
like
different
eat
thing,
up?
Tom. That's
No. Well, the votes are all in and the minds are made up. So now let us find out which of these 3 gentlemen is the real former chief steward to King Saud. Will the real Jose Arnold please stand up? Jose Arnold has just written a book about his experiences with King Saud and all the ladies and all like that. And the book is entitled Golden Swords and Pots and Pans, and it's published by Harcourt, Brace, and World. Number 1, what is your real name? What do you really do?
My name is Louis Battori, and I'm vice president of the Battori Computer Company.
Fine. And number 2. What is your real name? What do you really do?
My name is Tibor Atlini. I work for a Patrician Plastic Corporation, and we are manufacturing buttons.
Buttons, good. Well, I'm sorry to say that the panel was a little bit too smart for you, all these gourmets over here. But you do get $150 from Anison, and there is a gift box of fine products from the makers of Anison for each of you on the way out. Congratulations. Good luck. Some interesting spots tonight.
Indeed.
And I think I learned something interesting about you all. You know your onions about bugs and food and odd things.
And sheep.
And sheep dip. What is sheep dip? You asked about
I
that,
don't
Gene.
know. I've seen it in movies. They dip the sheep in when they get some kind of disease.
Bugs.
Yeah.
Vermin. He was right.
Vermin.
It's a caustic water solution, an oil, and messy and terrible, and don't fall in it and don't drink it.
All right.
Unless there isn't anything
That's my
else.
advice for the night, friends. I won't do it. I promise you, neither. Well, don't forget to join us at the same time next week, and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon on our daytime show. Until then, this is Orson Bean saying good night for Anison and reminding you, as Bud Collier always does, to tell the truth. Good night, Bud.
Good night,
Bud.
Hello, Bud.
Good night, Bud.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Poston production.
Hi, friends. This is Gary Moore with an invitation for tomorrow night. Dorothy Loudon, Roy Castle, Durward Kirby, and Brock Peters will star in an hour of song and comedy. So look for us here on most of these stations.
Tell the Truth brought to you tonight by new self-polishing Aero Wax with jet-aged plastic with a tough, long-lasting shine that never yellows floors. New Aero Wax. This is Johnny Olson speaking, for to tell the truth, this program was pre-recorded.